Friends, I have a really fun layout to scrapbook today. It is for the, the telephone game YouTube Hop is what it's called at Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And I have to scrap lift a layout, which I will show you right here. I have to scrap lift this layout right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this photo that I have, and this is my son and his girlfriend. They're in Chicago on a rooftop. So that's the photo I'm going to use that I will use as the element going down this side. I'm going to use as my background this Vicki Boutin Look Up pattern paper from the Kaleidoscope collection. So that's what I know so far. So it's kind of cool that I have something to work from. And then I have to pass it along to the next lady and see what she comes up with. So once again, this is the one I'm going to use, and I will go ahead and not fast forward, I only go forward a little bit, like 2 times speed, I think, and do a voiceover, and let's see where we go with this. All right, wish me luck. Oh, I didn't mention either a second ago that this photo, my son had just sent it to me and I printed it right away within 5 minutes of him sending it to me. So it's kind of fun. I'm always inspired by the things that happened the most recently for some reason. And then I'll work my way back. I shouldn't say that. I choose not to scrapbook chronologically. I'm just so much more inspired by scrapbooking the here and now, I guess is a way to put it. So I'm trying to decide which papers to use. The scrap lift had a bunch of, there's like hard edges on 3 sides and then a torn edge on the front of a bunch of layered pattern papers. So it is really quite fun. And then I also went ahead and I'll try to fast forward, so you don't have to see it. There's a lot of ink work going on, or, I think I'm just using a cat's eye type little cute ink pad thing to do mine, but there is some inking and all that kind of stuff. So there is tremendous amounts of fun to be had with this layout. I can't wait to see how it gets translated from person to person as we go through the telephone game. So I have gone ahead and inked the edges I have so far, and you see on the left side of those papers I do have the torn edges that is reminiscent of what we saw in my scrap lift. And then I decided, I can't remember, was it an 8.5 by 11 or a 12 by 12 scrap lift? Regardless, I kind of felt like I needed my papers to be going a little bit more to the left of the layout. I just wanted just a little bit more of the color and the pattern. Not that the background's not pattern, I know. Anyway, going on to the rest of the background a little bit more. And then I decided I wanted to go ahead and pop up this photo. Now I usually use the fun foam, but I was scrapbooking in my kitchen, not in my craft room, and I did have these handy dandy little foam tape guys, so I went ahead and used them. And voila, through the wonders of film, you didn't have to sit there and watch me painstakingly take off all those little pieces. Oh, by the way, that foam tape stuff that I was using, that's just from the Dollar Tree in the automotive kind of section. I got turned on to that by Christina Sorge at Secret Not Secret Kit Club. And the stuff works great. It's nice and sticky. It's pre-cut for you. It's good to go. It's really great. I prefer it for smaller elements because I get a little lazy when it comes to taking off the little tape bits. So I decided I wanted to bring a little bit more of this coral color in, so I made a tag out of it. And then when I put the tag down, I'm like, nah, I want something behind that as well. So I used this notebook looking paper from the Vicki Boutin collection and put that behind my tag. So there definitely was like this kind of migration situation that happened bit by bit with this layout. So what was mostly kind of a right side design to start kind of became and all over design, which is perfectly fine. Let's see, what else to tell you? So this is, I think I told you this picture of my son Justin and his girlfriend. They are on a rooftop in Chicago, which is what my title will be saying. And they went there this past weekend. My son's girlfriend's sister lives in Chicago, so they went as a family to Chicago, had a ton of adventures, and hopefully I'll have more pictures coming. I don't end up using any of those photo corners. I just went ahead and took a look at my colors, trying to see what was what. And then I realized that I'm trying to scrap lift something with my telephone game, and there were not photo corners, and I tried to behave myself. So I am using foam alphas for my entire title, so I don't have to go ahead and do any separate adhesive. I'm so jazzed when that happens. So for now, I just have my title on some wax paper while I'm deciding what is going where. I'm in the little Vicky Boutin stash. That's part of the kit that I am using. It's Vicky Boutin and Heidi Swap for the most part, with a tiny little bit of simple stories. So I'm trying to figure out which elements I want to use from the supplies I have on hand. But we'll go ahead and get this title down really quickly. And I've been trying to also make sure as I go along to ink the edges of the different elements that would at least take ink as I go along. So I have my title down, and I decided that my tag needed a little something. On the scrap lift, it had kind of a spot where you could put some journaling, but I really liked this funky, it looks kind of like a Polaroid camera. And in the scrap lift as well, the element that was on top of the tag was offset, so I went ahead and did that, but I believe it was offset on top of the photo in the scrap lift, and my photo is uplifted, so I decided to just tuck it under a little bit. So that's one of those crafter's choice situations. And let's see, sorry that you can see my light that I'm using on my table. It's in the very upper right of the screen. I'm not scrapping in my usual spot, so there's different elements that, look different. So I am going ahead and trying to enjoy some upstairs sun time while I can, because in the state that I live in Michigan, we don't stay sunny for, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't stay warm and sunny for more than 3 months out of the year. It starts cooling down quickly in the fall, and we have very difficult winters. So I tend to try to enjoy what I can when I can. So I liked this cute little hand that says, "I love you." So I also included that because this couple that you see right here has been together for over 5 years, and they are wonderful together, and they're great, and all that kind of stuff. So it seemed appropriate is my whole point. So I had this one little piece of that foam square stuff stuck to my mat for the longest time, so I finally got that off and used it on the die cut, which felt like a little tiny victory. I thought I'd share it with you. When you finally remember to do those little things that nag at you, for some reason, it's like it's a little tiny win. You know what I mean. I know you know what I mean. Anywho, so at this point in the layout, I'm just going through and doing a little decorating. What do I think I need to finish off this layout? Right now it's feeling a little flat to me, so I end up wanting to have some different textures or different elements. I do have a little bit of the metallic look in the word rooftop. That's like a rose gold metallic. My son's girlfriend isn't a pink girl, so I try not to go too pink. And in the alphas, the rose gold ones there, I think they're by Amy Tan. There's a glittery, almost pink rose gold, and then there's just the metallic rose gold. So I was trying to stay more towards those kind of tones. I do use some of these little Vicky Boutin puffy stickers. They are fab. That sticker collection that she has also has embossed puffies, and I really dig them. They have a bit of a shiny element with an upraised, well, it's called puffy, but the whole thing seems kind of hard. But I do like the multiple dimension kind of thing. All right, so in these pink fresh little epoxy clips, there is actually a cityscape clip right there. Oh, I was very excited. And I don't want to use it as a clip per se. I just want the epoxy look of it, or the enamel look, whatever you call those. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off because you won't see the bottom. And I'm going to use some tacky glue just to attach that down onto my layout. I thought it was ever so fortuitous that I had a skyline in an element as well as a skyline in the background. So I was feeling like it was just a big old win. All right, also one little disclosure moment. I have a very round English Bulldog laying across my lap while I'm trying to do this voiceover. And he's snoozing away, so you might hear a little snoring. It's not me breathing too heavily. He just has a thing for when, if I sit on the couch, he's somehow on me. And he does not care if it's warm out. He has no issues with personal space whatsoever. Okay, so you see that I'm now just sprinkling around some different bits and pieces. I found another little Vicky Bouton bright blue piece, and I have these little plus signs that are on her sticker sheet. I inked in the blue piece. Now these are cute little Amy Tan enamel hearts, and I'm using the baby blue ones from these little pieces. I absolutely love it when designers give us multiple colors on enamel shapes sheets, because you end up being able to sprinkle them around on so many layouts, and it really gives you that fun additional element. Like I said, the different textures. So you have your flat stuff and your metallic stuff, and even different sticker types will give you a different sheen. So it's just something I really love. So what you see me doing now is going pretty high up with some Heidi Swapp Color Shine in gold. I wanted some giant splats. My background is polka dotted, so I wanted a lot of the splats to be as large as I could so that they would show up really nicely. So that's what I'm doing there. So the next part is to tell you, I feel like I'm racing through this for some reason. It's really weird. If you could go ahead and like and subscribe on my page, I would so appreciate it. And so if I already said, if you could like and subscribe, I would really appreciate it. And if you want to be notified for when I have a new layout hit my channel, go ahead and hit the little bell. And ask for comments, questions, all that stuff. I really love to hear from all of my scrappy friends. So if you do have a question or a comment, go ahead and put it below. And I do my very best to get back to people within 24 hours. That's what I kind of like to do during my sit down with a coffee time is it's not that we're chatting, but we get to share ideas back and forth, and I really love that about this scrapbooking community. We tend to be pretty tight knit, and yeah, we share and learn from each other all the time, so it's great. So the bin on the left that you see is my bin of goodness, is what I call it. It is enamel dots, enamel shapes, as well as I do have some adhesive backed sequins in there. I have like 4 or 5 packs that I picked up on clearance at one point, but I do like the ease and the sequins that are already sitting there with adhesive on the back. And yes, I know it is ever so lazy, but I like them, and they were 50 cents a pack. So, that's the judge or no judge situation on that. I really like them. Anywho, I'm just going through and auditioning different colors to see what's going to go ahead and match my layout, as well as not kind of get swallowed up by the patterns that I have on there. I know that they are, it's a very bold background, so we have to see what I can have show up. So for the most part, that will be it for the layout. I'm just going ahead and adding those cute little final touches. I've got the mist drying. I have some fun enamel dots in 3 different color kind of things, and it's kind of doing a visual triangle for us as well. But I think, those are kind of like sparkly enamel dots I just put on there, and I wish I had 50 packs of them. I think they're from AliExpress from an order I did a year or 2 ago, but they're very cool because it gives you a little bit of a different element. So that's about it for today on this layout. I will go ahead and pass it along to the next person in our telephone hop. I hope you like what you see, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye, everyone.